Hello everybody, my name is Jhoni Palmer. I am a DSF scholar, a recent graduate from East High School, and a freshman at Metropolitan State University. So yeah, I was born and raised in Denver, Colorado. Growing up with my grandma, it was always, you need to do well. You need to get an education, you have to graduate high school, you have to go to college, you have to have a career. So I wanted to do well. For myself, yes, but for my grandma. Going into high school, I was going to be valedictorian. I had all these aspirations for my education, and then almost instantly, like walking into my honors classes and being the only face of color was more than what I was ready for. So going to East High School, it was like watching two different worlds colliding. So there would be kids that couldn't afford to eat and didn't know where their next meal was coming from, and then there was kids whose parents were millionaires. So just watching those two worlds interact with each other in a school where everyone should hypothetically be on the same playing field was difficult. And then I heard about this group called the Young African American and Latinx Leaders, centered around student advocacy, specifically for students of color. And I was like, yes, this is you, this is what you want to do, so go get it, you know? So I wanted to be in the face of the people who sit down and make those policy changes and have the conversation. It was one of the first times that I had to kind of talk to people who were in obvious positions of power over me. I remember like going into my senior year, didn't have a path for college. I just know I wanted to go. And I vowed like I was gonna get into all the schools that I wanted to go to. I was gonna make my grandma proud. I was gonna graduate with honors. I was gonna do it. I was like, you have to do it. You have to prove yourself. It became very apparent that I didn't know what I was getting into at all. So the role that the Future Center plays is monumental, to say the least. I had a really cool DSF advisor by the name of Vinny Caricato.
Hey Jhoni, how's it going?
Like, hey Vinny. So it's, hey Vinny, can you help me write this scholarship? Can you read this for me? What do you think about this school? How are my test scores gonna apply? And he was so helpful. Like honestly, if I didn't have Vinny my senior year, I don't think I would have gotten to the schools that I did and gotten all the scholarships that I did.
A statewide order starts this morning that everyone must stay home. The governor says this is the best way to save lives and help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
When COVID came, I worked at a Walgreens, so people were coming in all the time for prescription medication and supplies, and being an essential worker who was kind of scary to like, okay, I have to put myself at risk every day, but I can't not work because I have to make sure that I have a roof over my head and I have food in my belly and I can take care of my family.
Day 10 of protests across Denver.
People gathered outside the state capitol.
I went to almost all the protests. It's something that I had to do. Like my spirit was calling me to do. I have brothers, I have uncles, I have black men in my life who I really care about. So when something like this happens to black people, it always makes you look inside, like, how am I keeping my family safe? And what does this mean? The work that I have to do starting now is making sure that I'm building a future that is sustainable for my own life and generations to come. If we're not paying it forward and we're not giving back to our community, there's no point in the work that we're doing. I find hope in the people around me. The future is female, but the revolutionary boat is never full. We're always asking for more passengers. The best thing about DSF is that it truly does level the playing field. And if there's people like this in the world, then I think one day we'll make it. One day.